Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we've just come back from a 12-day vacation in Gran Canaria where we took part in quite a few activities. We went on a catamaran, we went on a jeep safari ride, we even did jet skiing. And that's what I want to talk to you in today's video, the jet skiing packages that you can find not only in Gran Canaria but throughout Europe. Many destinations do jet ski packages and hire a jet ski, but there are some things you do need to know if you are considering hiring a jet ski. And I thought it'd be helpful if I could share some of that information with you, so hopefully you book the right jet ski package and actually if a jet skiing ride is actually for you, because there are some things you need to be aware of. So before we get into the video, please make sure you subscribe to the channel then you don't miss any content. I have lots of content coming out about Gran Canaria over the next few days where we've recently been, but we cover all destinations around the world. And if you find this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button, it really does help the channel out. So hiring a jet ski in Gran Canaria. Yes, so we was not planning to hire a jet ski at all. We booked these other activities, but we were just walking along the seafront like you do one evening, and one of the local vendors, which there are hundreds of them and they constantly come up to you, they asked us if we wanted to book a jet ski ride. It's not something we had considered on this trip. We have done it before, but on this trip we hadn't considered doing it, and they showed us all the different packages. So we had quite a few questions which I asked them, which I think is important that you should know. So we actually ended up booking a jet ski safari tour, which is an hour long, and this was highly recommended by the vendor on the seafront, and he was quite right. It was the best one for us. In fact, later on in the holiday we actually managed to hire a jet ski as well for just 10 minutes, and that was really cheap, but we could definitely see the difference. So the vendor gave us some great advice and it was the best package for us. Now it might not be the best package for you, and I'll just go over a few reasons why. So firstly, there are many different types of packages that you can buy for hiring a jet ski while on the island of Gran Canaria. And like I said, throughout Europe they're pretty much the same kind of boats and same kind of packages. So you get two real main differences. You get a jet ski hire. That's usually a smaller craft like a stand-up or sit-down jet ski, which are usually Yamahas. They're a lot smaller, less powerful, but they still go around 40 miles an hour, which is pretty good when you're on the sea. And they tend to be used for the shorter trips, so the 10, 20 and 30 minute jet ski hire packages. They tend to be jet skis. The next one up is usually the tours, so the jet ski tours, which go from 30 minutes up to an hour. The one we purchased was for 1 hour. Now the crafts you get in these are usually wave runners or sea-doos. In fact, in this instance it was a sea-doo, which are much bigger craft. They're much more comfortable, they can handle longer journeys, bigger waves, and they are super fast. They actually go between 60 and 70 miles per hour, and they usually have a few more gadgets on them, like reverse and brakes. Some even have radios on them, so they are actually really fantastic crafts. So the one we went on was a jet ski tour, and it was a wave runner, which I was pleased to see. So we're not going to have a very small craft going right out to sea, which is a little bit more unstable and not as fast. We had the big wave runner, which can just skip across the waves really easily, so it makes the journey a little bit easier. So talking about the journey, it isn't easy no matter what craft you have. You are going to get banged around, you're going to get bumped, you're going to get bruised. It is important to realise that if you are going to do a jet ski ride, if you have any back or neck problems, you are going to feel it. I'm a 50-year-old man, I'm quite fit and active, and I still felt like I had done 10 rounds with Tyson Fury. Yeah, I definitely felt it the next morning. My legs were aching, my back was a little bit sore. I thoroughly enjoyed the actual jet ski ride, but you have to remember it is bouncy, choppy, and it is going to bump you around. Another thing to consider is you can hire the jet skis individually, or you can actually go on with a partner. So me and my wife hired one, and then my son had one all to himself. Now again, something we learned on this, if you are sharing a jet ski, I probably would recommend not. If you can afford it, get your own jet ski. It is cheaper to hire one for two of you, but if you can afford it, get one on your own. So my son's jet ski for the hour was €100, and the jet ski for both of us, for two of us, to hire one jet ski was €150. So in total our package was €250 for the hour, for two craft, for 3 people. Now the only reason I'm mentioning this is because if you are sharing a jet ski, it is very difficult when you sit on the back. No matter how good the rider is at the front, no matter how experienced you are, when you're holding on at the back, you're unprepared for the bumps, you're unprepared for the turns, and you do get thrown about more vigorously than if you are controlling it, holding onto the handlebars, and you're riding the jet ski. So I found it very difficult sitting on the back for half an hour, but when we got to our destination, we were allowed to swap over, so the driver then jumped onto the back, I jumped onto the front, and that was a lot easier for me. However, it wasn't as easy for my wife because she then got thrown around and she found that very, very uncomfortable. In fact, she was a little bit annoyed with me because I was trying to go as fast as I can. Yeah, it is very, very expensive to hire a jet ski on your own, but if you can, I highly recommend you do. Another piece of information that might help you out, ours was called a jet ski safari tour. I did expect to go see caves and maybe the coastline, but basically you are just zipping along the water, following a speedboat. Wherever he goes, you go. You can't move out of line, you have to stay in a nice tight line, and you don't really get to see much of the coastline. We expected kind of a tour and the safari feel to it, but it wasn't. It was basically straight line for half an hour, swap over, straight line back for another half an hour. So that was a little bit disappointing. So when it comes to taking photography and you want to take your mobile phone, I can highly recommend you get one of the waterproof packets for your phone. I know there's actually some waterproof pouches you can get now where you put your mobile phone inside, zip it up, and you can use that for taking images while you're on the jet ski. And if you drop it, there's also some that float on the water. So my main concern was that although my phone would be waterproof, if I drop it, I'm going to lose it. So I didn't actually take my phone on the jet ski, and I wish I had. There were some great opportunities, and it'd be lovely to get a photo of me and the family on the jet ski, so I could have showed you in this video. I didn't take my waterproof pouch because the one I have isn't one that floats. So I'll try and find a link to Amazon or wherever they're sold, and I'll leave that in the description if you want to get one of those. I highly recommend the floatable ones. Then all your fears and worries, are gone, and you can take plenty of videos, plenty of footage while you're on the jet skis. Another thing to consider, if it is a hot day, you don't get as wet on the jet ski as I thought you would do. We were in swimming costumes and shorts, but you do need to make sure you put plenty of sunblock on. I had put sunblock on before, I just had shorts, I didn't have a t-shirt on or anything, and I got a little bit burnt, I must admit. Yeah, with the water, you think that the water will cool you down and stop you from sunburning. It actually has the opposite effect. So the water helps the sun reflect off your skin, and you actually do burn a lot quicker. So make sure you put plenty of sunblock on before you go on the jet ski. So finally, just to tell you a little bit of difference between the two packages, the jet skis for 10 or 20 or 30 minutes tend to be a circuit where there are 3 marker buoys laid out in the ocean, and you just go round and round and round until your time's up, and then you come back in. That is all it is. Although you are on your own, so you do have a lot more flexibility to do a few turns and a few quick maneuvers, whereas with a jet ski safari tour, it is basically following a speedboat in a straight line. You don't have a lot of, freestyle freedom to do any tricks or anything like that. It is pretty strict on the rules. You follow that boat in a straight line, you turn around and you come back. So that's it for today's video. Just thought I'd mention about the experience we had with the jet ski ride, and hopefully some of the information helps you out. Remember, it is bumpy. You are going to feel it no matter how fit or young you are. We spoke to a couple the next day who'd been on one, and they were in their 20s, and even they said their legs and their back ached a bit. So it is fun. Obviously, the faster you push the boat, the more you are going to feel it. If you're happy just going nice and slow and enjoying the scenery, then it's going to be a lot easier on your back. So if you're going to Gran Canaria and you want to book any of these tours, I will try and leave a link either on the screen here or in the description. Hopefully that'll send you straight to the place where you can book your jet ski ride or your activity, and hopefully you have a great time if you visit Gran Canaria just like we did. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.